You are watching the reality show streaming live on stluciafirst.com.
This is the reality show. I am Bernard Fallis, and now we head to the south of the island to a bookstore in Vieux-Fort where authors from that part of the island met to promote their literary offerings. It is an initiative driven by Dr. Reynolds, Modeste Downes, and Edward Harris.
Well, this came about as a result of a get-together at my home during the holiday season, and we decided that we'll approach the management of Glomart, and then I got into contact with Mr. Modeste Downes, who made it all happen. You know, the old head always better than the younger head. So we came together and we invited Dr. Reynolds and Jolene Hanson and a few other persons. Today we had Dawn French with us, all the way from the north, and she has, as you know, a very wide collection of books. So it went down very well, but this is the gentleman who put it all together, Mr. Downes.
Well, the idea is that we think that while there is a whole lot of hustle and bustle about shopping, consumerism and whatnot, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get the point across to the citizenry that books can make a very interesting and very lasting gift for people, either for those purchasing or for friends. And we thought also that books at around this time can be an opportunity to have an item that one can read in order to pacify the tensions that may accrue out of the problems of shopping and money spending and so on. So we thought that this might be the way to go, and we got together, and the experience was also useful in terms of marketing ourselves as writers and to promote our books.
Well, the two gentlemen invited me to be part of this initiative, which I think will be an ongoing initiative. It's great because one of the problems we have in St. Lucia in terms of books is that people don't necessarily go out in a bookstore to buy books unless it is school books for their children. But if you bring the books to them, like a book signing and reading events, and you invite them and they come, they will buy the book. From my experience, for example, I've been doing book signing at rituals I've been there like 4 or 5 times, and I'm very pleased both with the reception and the number of books sold. So I think it is a good strategy to have such sessions. There is also that thing about growing the audience. I think we keep saying people don't read, but it seems like we have not done enough as writers to grow that audience and to try to cultivate a greater appreciation for books and literature. Our pitch should be both to adults and children.
Well, you just spoke to the man with the latest bookstall keeper, which has been making its rounds not only in St. Lucia, but internationally. We've got casual reading, we've got poetry, we've got business, we've got historical events. You know, Miss Jolene Hanson, she put together a very exhaustive book on the history of St. Lucia. So these are the kinds of books that are written from the South. As a matter of fact, in recent years, the South has built up a reasonable collection of books.
Well, I must give credit where credit is due. Since Dr. Reynolds returned and the establishment of what is known as Jacko Productions, he has made quite an impact in terms of getting persons who are potential writers to become writers and to publish. And I am one of the first that he took under his wings, and since my association with him, I have published 2 full volumes of poetry. As a matter of fact, I am just fine-tuning my 3rd volume, which hopefully can be out in the not-too-distant future, A Lesson on Wings. So yes, the credit must be given to Anderson Reynolds and his Jacko Productions, and of course other persons like Dr. Jolene Hanson, who has teamed up with other writers. And so the awareness is gradually building up, and we are also contributing to the encouragement of, or the encouraging of other young persons with potential for writing And as such, I think there is a body of knowledge, or not knowledge, a body of literature, as Dr. Reynolds put it, that is growing out of this kind of collaboration and association with Jacko Productions and other writers.
As Mr. Downes mentioned, indeed there is a growing body of literature coming out of Vieux-Fort that represents the best of what the island has to offer. For example, Modeste Downes has 2 volumes, both of them are award winners. Jolene Hampson has 3 books out. The latest one was A History of St. Lucia, which definitely represents the most comprehensive history book on St. Lucia. And of course, I've written 3 books, 2 novels, 1 creative non-fiction, and then we have Mr. Harris, a businessman par excellence. He has been doing a lot of writing, much more than is represented in his book. He has a blog. There are 400 articles. So his book is just the tip of the iceberg. So he's part of that growing body of literature. Yeah. So the kind of ideas I've been following is to make more people aware of St. Lucian books and grow that audience, and try to tell our writers that when they first put out a book, don't just do a little launch in Castries and that's it. Do a national tour, meaning do free stops to Vieux-Fort, Castries, and maybe other local venues. Well, we have a lot of secondary schools. We say our children don't read well. When you put out a new book, go to the secondary schools, even the primary schools, and do book reading events at the schools. And when you feel you have exhausted St. Lucia, well, take your act to international, I mean, to grow the audience and to give yourself a better chance of success. Yeah.
Well, Glomart is owned by a young couple, and actually my son and my daughter-in-law. So there's a little bit of self-interest, but you know, it is always a glorifying effect when you do something for yourself and it ends up to the wider community. I've always said that readers are leaders, knowledge is power. I've lived that in my whole life. So we got together and they said, okay, good idea. Now they want to become the source for local writers in the South. They want to make available to the writers in the first instance a place where they can store their books and have it sold. And secondly is that they want to do something for the community, because not only running a stationery store, but a bookstore is automatically a part of that. So they're very interested from a business point of view and from a community educational information point of view. So generally speaking, I think they're on to an excellent idea, and they have our support.
Yeah, of course.
Our books are in the stores as of now.
I am Vitalia Harris, and this is Glomart. We sell stationery, office supplies, school supplies, and we're hosting for the first time the local offers. And this morning was a great event. We had a good turnout this morning. I think the public were made aware of a few persons who write, mainly from the south, but we had one person from the north. And it was a success this morning, and I'm hoping we can have many events like that to make persons aware of our local offers. We are located at the Gabblewoods Mall South, next to Massey Stores, closer to the post office.
We encourage you to build a library of local literary works, especially if you are in the diaspora. Most of these books are available online through Amazon and other bookstores on the internet. That's a wrap for the reality show today. I am Modeste Downes.
This is happening. This is our reality. This is Calabash TV.